I ain't even say this perm having name. You just want to bring it top up. Say, bro, man, you be relevant, and I said what I said, bro. You need a like me to keep you going.
You're saying Catrell is evil and he's a bad influence. So you want to go and put that man on his knees and...
The moment NBA YoungBoy finally reacted to NLE The Great KO official music video, the entire rap world hit pause.
YB babies ain't money getting. They'll hurt you, kill you, and eat out your icebox as they break in your house. I'm not battling with childhood like a YB fan. Them kids need to be put in mental institutions. This man, YB, sound like he angry. He want to out his mama. He want to beat his daddy. He want to his uncle. I don't want to hear that kind of shit. I'm not in pain. I'm a money getter. YB babies ain't money getting. I don't feel that. That's not soul music. I'm a soulful brother. I'm not in pain. Them kids need to be put in mental institutions. You see they had that on medication.
Even academics was surprised about NLE taking this route of dissing NBA YoungBoy. He would share his thoughts on stream.
Some people would call it, you have your third eye open. Some people would call it, yo, a dumb on act smart. Some people would call it fake woke. Some people would call it someone trying to seem deeper than most. Pause. It's kind of like how people, it evokes some of the similar thoughts like how we had about XXXTentacion, where people felt like, you know, he understood life a little bit on a different level. And I think that's what NLE Chop is aiming for.
This wasn't just a random response to a trending clip. This was one of the most unpredictable artists in hip-hop acknowledging a track that fans unanimously labeled a direct diss.
Today I'm gonna talk about being jealous and being envious. So you wanna make a video dancing around like a ballerina, and then you got a man on his knee, and you're saying Catrell is evil and he's a bad influence. So you want to go and put that man on his knees and on a video, right? Okay, fine. I bet they have another video with that same on his knees. Because who gonna even play that stupid ass role? If you know better, you do better. Your head look like a without a rubber on top of it. But yet, you want to sit here and try to talk about somebody. You better be lucky. I can't say what I want to say.
The buzz around KO was already explosive, but YoungBoy's reaction took the situation from heated.
We're very concerned about the NBA YoungBoy concert. So concerned that even before the concert went forward this weekend, they notified Louisiana Stadium Exposition District, also known as, that manages the Superdome and Smoothie King Center. In particular, notified ASM Global that, yo, this is like a really dangerous thing that could have very unforeseen consequences. Now, the response from ASM Global was, we'll hire some security inside, it'll be fine. NOPD's response was, you don't get what we're saying. There is such a propensity around these concerts that is so, not an if but a when, that we are concerned we'll have to activate the department to be around the downtown area to protect citizens and routes.
To historic. As soon as YoungBoy even hinted at addressing the song,
he's not able to defend his name, bro, and it be a lot going on within his name about him. When, to me, bro, he a real stand-up dude, and it was just unfortunate how it happened. Like, he came to a person as a man.
Timelines erupted. He didn't have to speak a full paragraph or give a long explanation. The tone alone was enough to let fans know he felt the tension floating around his name. When KO first dropped, it spread like wildfire.
One fan even wrote, NBA YoungBoy dissed all of Fort BF, dissed half at Atlanta in their own city, and he performed I Hate YoungBoy in the same city where Vaughn passed. Even a Chicago OG would start dissing YoungBoy and praising Lil Durk.
YoungBoy. What's his click? Why would I tell you? What's his click though? What's the 4K track? Damn. Oh. 4K track for life. I'm OTF. I am OTF for life. I'm from Chicago. Who? Boy.
Listeners latched on to the aggressive flow, the sharp punchlines, and the coded shots they believed were aimed squarely at YoungBoy.
Just gotta claim it today. King of rap. King of rap. That's a new narrative I'm driving. These gonna have to bow to the feet. I like it. We're not talking about Kendrick and Drake. They're on a different level. But below Kendrick and Drake, I'm sorry. With all due respect to every other rapper, YoungBoy is the king of rap right now. I'm sorry to tell y'all. The walk down I seen in Atlanta tonight. Give him the throne. Just give him the throne. YoungBoy the king of rap. I'm sorry to tell y'all. Hey, listen, I'm not saying it's gonna last forever. But for right now, in the last 4 or 5 months, YoungBoy the king of
For weeks, fans debated whether NLE finally crossed that invisible line and took a direct swing at one of rap's most polarizing figures. But nothing defined the narrative until YoungBoy reacted. His energy, raw, dismissive, and full of edge, instantly confirmed what fans had been whispering about. Even if he didn't use NLE's name, the message came across loud and clear. He heard the record, he understood the intent, and he was not amused.
Let me know who beating me, bruh. Respectfully, the only that's really respectfully, the only that's really ahead in that space.
What made the reaction even more powerful was the pressure surrounding it. Fans from both sides had created a digital battleground, dissecting every lyric, every ad-lib, every visual frame in the KO video. Some believed NLE was trying to push YoungBoy into a lyrical confrontation. Others claimed it was just rap competition, nothing personal. But once YoungBoy stepped into the conversation, the entire situation took on new weight. The culture thrives on moments like this, unscripted, unpredictable, and packed with raw emotion that can't be faked or staged. Every major rap page, reaction channel, and commentary platform immediately dissected YoungBoy's tone. Some described it as controlled anger, some saw it as mockery, some believed he was gearing up for a full response track. Whatever the interpretation, the impact was massive. Fans weren't just looking at YoungBoy for entertainment, they were analyzing him like a chess master making his first move in a high-stakes match. And that's how a simple reaction became one of the most electrifying moments of the year. YoungBoy's presence alone changes the gravity of a rap dispute, and his acknowledgement of KO officially turned speculation into storyline. As soon as YoungBoy's reaction clip surfaced, the internet exploded into theories about what his next move would be. Would he fire back with a diss of his own? Would he drag the situation into a full-on beef? Or would he dismiss the track and let the moment fade? Every angle was debated nonstop, especially because YoungBoy is known for unpredictable behavior, rapid-fire releases, and emotional candor that can shift rap culture overnight. Supporters of YoungBoy immediately rallied behind him, claiming his reaction was more than enough to shut down NLE's momentum. They pointed out that YoungBoy doesn't need multi-layered subliminals or long-winded explanations. His energy, the stare, the facial tension, and the tone crafted the message. In their eyes, one look from YoungBoy hit harder than any bar NLE could ever record. Fans flooded comment sections with declarations that YoungBoy remains unshakable regardless of how many people try to push his buttons. But NLE supporters flipped the script. They believed KO successfully rattled YoungBoy's composure, forcing him to break his silence sooner than expected. They argued that YoungBoy's reaction meant he felt the pressure, that he recognized how much noise the track made, and that the cultural momentum was temporarily on NLE's side. They also brought up past moments where YoungBoy responded to other rappers, pointing out patterns in his behavior that indicate when he feels genuinely targeted. And according to them, KO struck a nerve. Reaction channels capitalized on this division, uploading breakdowns that examined every detail. Some channels slowed down YoungBoy's reaction frame by frame, claiming they caught micro-expressions of irritation or disdain. Others paired the clip with NLE's lyrics, emphasizing the tension between their respective energies. The internet turned a simple reaction into a full cinematic analysis, the same way boxing fans break down a fighter's footwork before a big match. Industry insiders joined the conversation as well. Some claimed YoungBoy's reaction was strategic, a way to acknowledge the diss without giving it too much shine. Others believed he was preparing something behind the scenes, something sharp and emotionally charged. A few suggested that YoungBoy's team might encourage him to avoid engaging at all, knowing mainstream media loves to amplify any tension surrounding him. But the biggest takeaway from the moment was how quickly it shifted the spotlight back on to YoungBoy. No matter what NLE did, YoungBoy's single reaction clip reclaimed the narrative effortlessly, and in hip-hop that power matters more than anything. Acknowledgement from YoungBoy transforms a rap moment into a rap event. The stage was set and fans could feel the tension rising. Once YoungBoy's reaction went viral, fans started revisiting the KO music video with fresh eyes. Suddenly, bars that seemed like generic aggression now felt personal. Visual choices that once looked artistic now looked symbolic. Viewers started piecing together theories about which specific lines might have triggered YoungBoy's energy. And with every clip showing YoungBoy's reaction circulating online, the hype surrounding KO reached heights NLE couldn't have engineered on his own. The dissecting became almost academic. Fans pointed out references to YoungBoy's lifestyle, legal struggles, rivalries, and musical cadence hidden within NLE's flow. Even NLE's body language in the video got analyzed, how he moved his hands, how he stared into the camera, how he delivered certain lines. Everything was now interpreted as a direct challenge. Whether intentional or not, the perceived targeting amplified the drama around the track. But what intensified the conversation even more was how different NLE's persona is from YoungBoy's. YoungBoy is raw, emotional, intense, and unpredictable. NLE, especially in recent years, has played with a split image, positivity, spiritual commentary, but also flashes of aggression when challenged. Fans claimed KO was the first time in a long while that NLE tapped into his darker, more confrontational side. And that switch in tone made the track feel bold enough to force YoungBoy into reacting. Meanwhile, YoungBoy's supporters began compiling their own evidence. They pointed out similarities between previous feuds YoungBoy has ignored and those he took seriously. They compared this reaction to older moments when YoungBoy addressed perceived disrespect from other artists. The verdict from many fans was simple. This reaction showed YoungBoy was paying close attention. The dynamic became bigger than just the two rappers. It became a clash between two massive fan bases, each determined to prove their favorite artist held the upper hand. And in this clash, YoungBoy's reaction acted as a spark that reignited the already burning tension between both sides. Across social media, people began asking the same question without explicitly stating it. Is this the beginning of a new rap feud? Even if the artists themselves didn't confirm anything, the fans had already built a narrative. And in modern hip-hop, once the fans create a storyline, the culture follows it whether the artists approve or not. That's the power of perception. KO became bigger than just a diss track. YoungBoy's reaction made it a cultural moment. As the situation escalated, other figures in the hip-hop community started weighing in. Podcast hosts argued that YoungBoy should respond lyrically, stating that competition keeps the culture alive. Others argued the opposite, that responding would elevate NLE's position too much. Fans noticed that every time YoungBoy reacts to anything publicly, even slightly, it becomes national conversation. His influence is so strong that even cryptic comments feel like press statements. Some older rappers pointed out that the tension between NLE and YoungBoy goes back years, long before this track. They referenced moments where their fan bases clashed, where subliminals circulated, and where small misunderstandings grew into big assumptions. This history made the reaction even more compelling because it resurfaced old wounds in the culture that had never really healed. In other words, KO didn't create the tension, it just exposed it again. Meanwhile, conversations around the technical side of both artists' skills intensified. Commentators compared YoungBoy's emotional delivery to NLE's structured punchlines. Some praised NLE for sharpening his flow and stepping into a more aggressive lane. Others argued that YoungBoy's unpredictability gives him an edge no matter what's thrown his way. This comparison fueled the rivalry even more because it turned artistic preference into fan allegiance. Reaction videos multiply when the community senses real tension. Livestream hosts played YoungBoy's reactions side by side with NLE's lyrics. Viewers spammed chat rooms with flame emojis and theories. Even platforms outside the rap community, sports commentary channels, meme pages, lifestyle vloggers, dipped into the conversation because the moment captured the internet's attention far beyond hip-hop. Yet, through all this, YoungBoy didn't escalate. He didn't rant, he didn't go live laughing, he didn't release a counter track. He did what frustrates and excites fans more than anything. He remained silent after the initial reaction, and that silence became a weapon in itself. Sometimes saying nothing is louder than saying everything. The culture loves conflict, but it loves anticipation even more. And anticipation is what YoungBoy created with that brief but powerful reaction. After YoungBoy's reaction, attention shifted toward NLE the Great for the first time in months. Fans wondered how he would respond now that the person everyone believed he aimed at the track had actually acknowledged it. But NLE didn't immediately post a follow-up, doubling down on his confidence. He let the moment ride, letting the world decide what the tension meant. This silence from both sides created a storm of speculation. Some said NLE was waiting for YoungBoy to drop a diss so he could respond with a second part to KO. Others believed he felt he already won the cultural moment and didn't need to say anything else. But what everyone agreed on was that NLE had earned a new level of respect for releasing a track bold enough to make the internet push it into YoungBoy's orbit. As fans debated the power dynamics, journalists began writing think pieces about how rap beefs have evolved. Unlike older eras, where artists made diss tracks openly, today's artists often communicate through tone, posture, energy, and fan-driven interpretation. KO and YoungBoy's reaction became a blueprint for this new form of indirect warfare. They didn't need explicit attacks, fans supplied the aggression for them. And that's what made the moment so fascinating. So many artists try to generate forced beef to stay relevant, yet this moment grew organically because both artists have massive audiences, strong personalities, and unmatched emotional depth in their music. The confrontation didn't feel staged or forced. It felt real even without words being exchanged. That authenticity is what elevated the moment into something unforgettable. NLE's team saw a spike in streams, social engagement, and brand recognition after YoungBoy reacted. Clips from KO flooded TikTok edits and Instagram reels. Old songs from NLE began trending again because fans revisited his catalog. And for the first time in a while, rap fans viewed NLE as a contender in high-level rap tension. YoungBoy's reaction didn't destroy NLE, it amplified him, and that's what made the situation so unpredictable. As the dust settled, it became clear that this moment reshaped the landscape for both artists, even without a direct diss track exchange. YoungBoy's reaction confirmed that he's still the gravitational center of modern rap tension. Any artist who even brushes against his name becomes the center of attention. His fans defend him aggressively, his critics analyze him obsessively, and the entire culture watches for his next move like it's a championship fight. NLE, on the other hand, proved he could create shockwaves with a single release. KO wasn't just another song, it became a statement piece, whether intended or not. The aggressive tone, the bold delivery, the visual confidence, everything suggested he was ready to step into a more commanding space in the rap conversation. And YoungBoy's reaction validated that shift, even if indirectly. Right now, the rap world is holding its breath. Everyone is waiting to see what happens next. Does YoungBoy drop a response that shuts everything down? Does NLE double down with another track, or does the moment freeze exactly where it is? A snapshot of tension that electrified the culture without erupting into full conflict. No matter what path it takes, the situation has already made history. It proved once again that rap beef doesn't always need direct shots to feel dangerous. Sometimes all it takes is one artist dropping a track with enough energy to spark rumors, and another artist reacting with enough intensity to validate them. This moment will live in rap culture for a long time because it captures the essence of what makes the genre thrilling. Competition, mystery, raw emotion, unfiltered reaction. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the most electrifying rap moments of the year, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more unfiltered commentary, hip-hop breakdowns, and culture-shaking stories.